I'm just so grateful for your radio station, Talk Radio, because what you do, you allow people to come back on. Even if you're wrong, or I'm wrong, or you're right, or vice versa.
I cherish that, and I feel like if I'm being honest, I said what I said before I came on air tonight. I was having a good chat with Chuck, our video producer, and we were talking about, just talking about generally, about the industry and about radio and about talk radio and stuff. And you know what I said to him? And it is so true. And this is why I cherish talk radio and I cherish what we do here, because I feel like increasingly in journalism nowadays, people and presenters, not necessarily on talk radio, but elsewhere, that they want to produce and present shows where everyone just agrees with each other. And I that's not my job. I mean, my job is, if you ring up, my job is to critique your position and to tell you and to question your position. I might agree 100% with your position, but my job is to critique it and to get to the bottom of why you think what you think and poke holes in what you say so that you can stand up your own argument. And that's your job to do that to me as well. It's your job to ring and say to me, I disagree, Cristo, we're going to end up with vaccine passports. It's also your job, as you've demonstrated tonight, John, to ring me and say, actually, I was right on that and you weren't right either. Well, and I feel like in journalism we're losing that a little bit.
Yeah,
I really
and I don't do that and I don't do that gloating.
Oh, you should gloat. You should gloat.
Thank you. Okay, well, I'll take this opportunity. No, but again, it's freedom of speech. That's what's been done away with. Who do we trust? Well, I don't trust BBC. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still listening.
Yeah, sorry. I think people must hear me on the radio and they're all trying to call me. No, it's freedom of speech, which it's been taken away. We look at Facebook, we hear what America wants to do, like to literally spy on our text messages. If whatever happens in America, and I've said this to you last year, about different things, even about mask mandates and Fauci and all of this. There's so much, but see, so much has happened in a year and a half. You as a journalist, I don't even know how you keep up with it, to be quite honest.
I don't. I mean, the key is, and what I seem to get away with, and don't tell anyone, John, I'm glad that no one else is listening, it's just you and I say now, I don't know. I was talking yesterday about how when I was in the lift with Will, the producer, and he said, God, I was going to France and I don't know if I can now because you've got to isolate when you get back after 10 days. I said, really? And he said, you were discussing this last week. I said, you know what, I can't keep up. I said, I don't know. I said, it's my job to know and I can't keep up with it anymore because it's all such a shambles and it's all so haphazard. I've no idea what's going on anymore. So I don't know how you keep up with it because genuinely I don't know anymore.
Well, I keep up by just, really filtering out what I allow in, to be quite honest with you. And I would say that to other listeners, I come to Talk Radio, I have you on Facebook there, and I seen, was it Christie was on earlier? No, Patrick
Christie was on earlier, yeah.
Yeah, Patrick Christie was on, and he was irate about the whole, and what I loved about that was his passion to be honest, and to tell the truth and to say that. And I just came on. We were lied to.
It becomes almost more than there's two issues. There's the idea of I want people to take the vaccine. John, I genuinely really want people.
Before you say that, you said that to me the last time, and I told you, well, you said I was an anti-vaxxer. We had that back and forward debate, but I still choose not to take it right now.
Fine.
But I respect choice. What you're saying too.
Yeah, totally. And again, when we probably had that conversation, I was trying to critique that position of yours, but I would rather, in a million years, I'd rather you decide to take the vaccine because you've had a conversation with someone or you've read something about it or you've made the decision because you've been informed or because whatever decision you've made, I don't want it to come through coercion. And if I were the government, I would be putting out information campaigns. I'd be trying to restore trust from people. I would be trying to make people want to take the vaccine. So there's that side of things that I don't like the idea of the government saying to people, you can't come in here if you've not had this medical procedure.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Well, then, are you surprised why people don't want it? Or there's hesitancy, vaccine, let's not say anti-vaxxers, but there's a vaccine hesitance in people. And some people now...
I'm surprised to the extent that it is, but then... giving myself a little get out, I feel like if we'd not see. What's so frustrating, John, is that because we have had a prime minister that has lied so often and done so many U-turns, that what he doesn't realise is that actually feeds into why people don't want the vaccine, because they don't believe a word they hear. And so I'm not surprised people are cynical, but I wouldn't have thought of the extent to which people are cynical. But I don't believe vaccine passports are the answer, and I doubly don't believe it because he actually ruled them out. He categorically said we wouldn't be having them. So he's once again undermining his own position, and he's once again making people even more cynical about the vaccine.
Well, I live on an island, right, the north of Ireland, and we have the Republic. And the Republic of Ireland right now is like a communist nation. They brought in these vaccine passports and have ultimately said that nobody, and there's fines now, there's going to be massive fines, if any of these restaurants or any of these hospitality areas allow unvaccinated people in. They said, they brought in this, and they brought it in at 2 minutes past midnight last week on one of the nights as a new law, and it's now being signed in by the president. It's look.
So and how much, whether it's happening here or happening in Northern Ireland or happening in the Republic, how much has that made you more convinced to take the vaccine? Has it made you more convinced, or has it made you want to dig your heels in more?
I will be honest with you. No, I will be honest. Of course, I'm going to be honest. The hesitancy, but the thing I'm trying to get across is, I had people on the phone today and yesterday that were so hesitant of taking the vaccine that told me, John, I've gone and got taken the vaccine because I want to travel and I don't want to be locked out.
So it is working to a point then?
No, I would call it being coerced. Do you not think, if somebody... I still have this standpoint, and I know you don't agree with me, Cristo, but I still think this is about control, and every time they dangle the golden carrot in front of you, they take something else away.
I feel like they're too incompetent for that to be the plan. No, genuinely do.
You're doubly vaccinated, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so do you feel now you have more freedoms than you had before you were vaccinated?
No, because there's not much I can do anyway now. I really don't. I mean, it might change if I want to go to the pub or anything like that down the line, and I think that they will end up being brought in for pubs. But I didn't get vaccinated in order to have freedoms. I got vaccinated because I believe that the vaccine reduces the COVID symptoms and reduces the transmission. That's why I got vaccinated.
Well, but on that point then, that was the main thing. And then the whole thing was taken off the television about, COVID, and this is the reason. Then they started saying, well, now, if you take the vaccine, you'll be allowed into restaurants, you'll be allowed to travel. It was less about people coming sick and dying, but more about giving you back your freedoms. So
but again, that returns me to the question I asked you before then. Does that make you want to dig your heels in more and not take it because you get more annoyed?
Well, yeah, absolutely. That is me.
So it is going to backfire for some people. This strategy that Boris thinks he's got that is going to then create... How old are you, John?
I will be 52 this year.
Okay, because it's you're not so much the target audience, but of course he wants you to take your vaccine. But it's going to be younger people that he thinks are going to suddenly say, "Great, we want to go clubbing. We're going to get our vaccine."
In the under 18s.
Yeah, and the under 30s.
Yeah, or they allow them into the nightclubs at midnight on Sunday night, and then on the same day target nightclubs. So, no, anyone, because it's a game.
But no, but we've got to finish because we've got to get to a break. But I don't.
Okay.
I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, maybe you will be proved right again, and I will be proved wrong. It's happened before, but I don't think that the buffoon we have in Downing Street is competent enough to actually have any kind of wider, more sinister thing going on. I just think it's stupidity, it's buffoonery, it's haphazard, and it's all over the place because he's no idea what he's doing, and that's what I think is happening.
It's absolutely dangerous, my friend. This is we'll come right down to the point. This is people's lives, Cristo.